Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Well, in today's video, we're going to be checking out what are we supposed to kind of look forward to in this year and potentially year 2024 from the Supernote. So Supernote A5X and A6X have been around now for quite a while, almost 2 years. The hardware, of course, hasn't changed, but the platform has been updated by the developer team and transformed like so much and improved that it really doesn't matter. I mean, they're squeezing out the absolute maximum out of these devices, and they have improved and basically edged out quite a bit of competition depending on what your use case scenarios may be. So it is a fair question to ask, okay, but are there any more or any new hardware that's actually being planned? And Rata being themselves, which is fair, transparent, and really clear in their communication, have a really good post on their Reddit page that actually addresses this. So I've read through the whole thing. You can find the link in the description below to the whole thread, but I've gone through it all and kind of pinpointed or picked all the most interesting bits of information. So let's go through those. Okay, so first things first, they have a Supernote hardware roadmap that they have updated, I believe, late February or something like that. And yeah, February 24th. And there we will see that they have like 4 new devices that they are working on, hardware devices. The first one is A5 Slim. And like before, it says that it is going to be powered by a Linux operating system, and that is why it's not an X, doesn't have an X behind it, because as we know, the X is for the Android powered devices. So A5 Slim, and it says characteristics: ultra slim, simple and easy to use. Time to market 2024. Is it going to be slimmer than the Remarkable 2? Huh? Does that make it light as well? I don't know. It kind of sounds interesting. It definitely does sound interesting. Then we have the thing that I adore as a bit of news, which is A4X2. And you can see that we have A4X2, A5X2, and A6X2. So the whole lineup is going to be refreshed with the X2. Now, it's not just X2 because the previous one is an X. It's X2 because they are actually going to change the way they're thinking about their operating systems, and you'll see that in later messages, because as you can see here it says Android and Linux, and yes, it sounds like it's going to be able to use both, and that you could choose which OS you want to use, which is actually quite interesting. But for me, the biggest piece of info is that you can get the gloriousness of the Supernote OS and the functionalities and everything on an A4. That is something that a lot of people are waiting for. So what are the characteristics of the A4 Slim? Nice. When can we expect it? Pre-research Q4 2023. That's probably going to be much more likely that it's going to happen in 2024, but it's good to have an indication so that we know when to expect these things, especially for people who are saving up and thinking like, maybe you're thinking like in November to buy something, and then it's like, oh, well, I might want to wait for an A4X2 instead. A5X2 is characteristics, long-term features, like replaceable battery, which is fantastic to see. I mean, how many devices can you actually name that have these kinds of features? So that is just another thing that's absolutely amazing about the Rata as company. So really lovely thing to see here that they're focusing on longevity of their devices, not just regurgitating models and making them obsolete before you actually blink. So that is fantastic to see, and it is already in prototype design phase, and it is scheduled to be launched at 2023 Q3, so later this year. Very interesting. And we also have A6X2, same dual operating system, same long-term features like replaceable battery, and same launch date. The only thing is that the progress is EVT. What is EVT? Well, it says engineering verification tests. So that's from prototype design, you go to engineering verification tests. So it's very much coming along, which is a good thing to see. And now, without any particular order, I want to go through some of the messages that I picked out that I feel are quite important regarding this and what their chief chat officer is actually saying. A5X, A6X is not eliminated by A5X2 and 6.2, but will be eliminated by the supply chain. Because of the rapid upgrade of memory chips, it has developed from DDR3 to DDR4, DDR5 in just a few years. The current chip may be difficult to purchase in 2 years, referring to the chip that is used in A5X and A6X. We are worried about this, so we prepared the X2 plan. Another reason is because the postponement of the A5 Slim, we need to deliver the product that supports Linux. There is no obvious difference in performance between X2 and X. Both are quad-core processors and the CPU runs in similar frequency. Very nice to see that they're open about it, and it's something to kind of keep in mind. So nope, it's not going to be a huge hardware upgrade at all. It's basically just making it more modern and making it support Linux, because that's what they're going for. Since we're a small team, we will not maintain too many similar models of devices. We would rather maintain a variety of accessories. So after the X2 goes on the market, X will soon withdraw from sales. In terms of software, X and the another version of X2 belong to the same branch and will be upgraded together. Pretty much like what we see with the Remarkable 1 and Remarkable 2 belonging to the same family and being upgraded together, which is an excellent thing to see. Then they also have a comment about the design. For the design of new products, we will make some prototypes to test the new features, for example, replaceable batteries, which is the thing that I really like as an idea. But it's also good to see that they're testing the feasibility of these ideas, because he says, we need to verify if it increases the weight and thickness of the device, whether it can withstand the impact when dropped. So all very valid things to see, and something that I do quite like. There's also a question about the guide rail. That's this rail that's actually being used to secure the device and to keep it secure in the cover. And they're saying, we're trying to improve the guide rail. If we change this part, we will provide the folios for free for all users who upgrade their devices. If we change the guide rail, we may change the outlook correspondingly. There will be no obvious changes in style. So we can see that we are not gonna see an overall complete revamp of a Supernote or anything like that. It's more like an iterative change, and they're just going to improve where they feel improvement is actually justified. And a little bit more on the rails explanation. The current rails are good enough, lightweight, simple, and reliable. In practice, we found that users have some storage needs. For example, to put cards, tickets, second pens, etc., I guess in the cover. If we meet such needs, it will bring further needs because the overall weight increases. Users will use the device separately in some occasions. In such scenarios, we need a more convenient, one-handed way to separate or combine the device and the envelope, which is true, because right now the separation is a process and it's not something that you would call convenient. I am a huge fan of the mechanical way of holding it, so, but definitely, yeah, it's not something that you can just one-handed operation, take it out of the guardrail. Nope, you can't do that. So it's something that they're definitely keeping an eye on. This prompted us to consider a new rail design. If we upgrade to a new design, we will give free new folios to all users when they buy the new device, as I promised before. Usually we will not sell two generations of products at the same time. However, since the main supply chain of e-ink devices comes from China, and China is still implementing a strict zero epidemic policy, the supply chain is unstable and the new generation of products is also at risk of delay. This leads us to prepare more stocks for current models according to pessimistic estimates. So it's expected that we will sell two generations of products at the same time within 2 to 6 months. However, this was posted 4 months ago and we don't have anything there yet, and furthermore within that was actually before the updated timeline that was issued. So yeah, we will see what actually happens regarding that one. We'll continue to sell previous generation folios after stock of previous generation devices has been sold out. Make sure older users have replacement parts available. Alright, so it's very likely, sounds at least very likely, that the A5X2 is not only going to have a dual boot system, not only going to have more modern insides, not faster, but more modern, but that we are probably looking at an updated guardrail system as well for more convenience. Here we have some general questions. Thank you for interested in Supernote. With the A5 Slim, will it be just like the A5 but thinner, or will it have A5X components? Just like an A5 but thinner. Okay, so basically just a thin A5. I see no ETA, but is there a consensus closer? Probably in next year, 2023, but we know that it has been delayed to 2024. For the A5X2, are you planning any stylistic changes, or is it simply the big feature of dual platform? The main difference is dual platform. So they are definitely doubling down on that X2 means Android and Linux at the same time for users to actually be able to use it. Will there be a discount path for A5X users? If you're referring to A5X users, there is no discount when purchasing A5X2. Well, it is. I'm not sure what that means. I think that there's not going to be a discount because here's an incredible sentence. Because there is no significant difference between A5X2 and A5X, we do not encourage A5X users to upgrade. Just think about the level of honesty and transparency here. Imagine Apple saying, yeah, you don't need to upgrade to the next phone because, it's the same beep. That's a very refreshing thing to see, and that just speaks volumes of their long-term commitment to their customers, and they're just like, it's really impressive, really impressive. I just hope that it's financially sustainable. Well, okay, there we go. So we are looking at a refresh of X2 platforms, basically eventually replacing A5X and A6X, but not replacing them in such a way that you want to upgrade, because they specifically say probably no. If you have an A5X, do you want to upgrade to A5X2? Most likely no, because it's not going to be a huge upgrade. But then again, you might want to consider the replaceable battery. You might want to consider the new rail design if you like it more. That's something that's going to be on the X2. You might want to consider the dual operating system. That's for more nerdy of us, but it's something to definitely keep in mind. So there are definitely pluses to consider, even though they say the performance and the functionalities are going to be the same between the two, the X and the X2 platforms. That's definitely something to consider. But for me, out of all of this, the absolute biggest, no pun intended, news and biggest point to kind of be happy about is the bigger version, or the A4 Supernote A4X2. Now that's something that I'm really looking forward to. That's it for me. So I hope that you liked the video. Please do let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about all of this? What your thoughts are, what your expectations are. Are you looking forward to this? Are you disappointed? Are you this? Are you that? Whatever. Let's put the conversation into gear and see where it leads. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe, and ding the notification button to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. Also, do consider checking out mydeepguide.com/shop to check out the MDO, My Daily Organizer, which is a hyperlinked PDF file that satisfies all of your personal, professional, yearly, monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily organizer and daily diary needs. And also, if you are interested in something like that, check out the links in the description below for the MDO playlist, where you will find a ton of information from which you can actually, fairly accurately gauge if MDO is a product for you or not. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!